Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, SSG.B, back here again with you. So, what we're going to cover today is the educational benefits side of this. Um, I'm not going to get too much into the finer points because there's a lot of different programs and a lot of different things that are offered through various schools. A lot of schools will offer the military tuition, which is often cheaper than the in state tuition and things like that. So, the the bases are going to be like the Montgomery GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill. The Montgomery GI Bill is a program that was put into effect by Congress sometime around the 90s, maybe a little earlier. I apologize if I get that wrong. I know it's offered standard now. It is a benefit that you get once you have joined and you are official, good, like let's say you're reserved, once you are a good drilling member and you are not flagged for anything, PT, or let's say you don't show up, you have to be a member in good standing to receive that. Now, for those of you on active duty, you have to exceed at least 1 year of active duty service, and then you are considered in good standing and you can apply for online college and things of that nature. But as a reservist, things are a little different. You can immediately get in, and once you get out of basic training, you have that option available to you. Now, my recommendation to you guys is if you're just starting out and you've never used it, you need to get in touch with your VA rep at your school, either through email or go face to face and get the forms you need to get that started, because that is a education program that goes through the VA. And yeah, I know, the VA. A lot of people think, hey, I'm not old yet, I don't have to deal with the VA. But the VA manages the educational benefits. Anyway, um, so they are going to determine your eligibility, and they will require a lot of paperwork from you. Just a couple of forms, things you're going to fill out, and they will check into your record to make sure that you are, in fact, in the military and in good standing and qualify for the benefits. And then you will receive a letter in the mail that states you are eligible for X amount of benefits for however many months. If you've used them, there's up to 48 months. Now, you can take 36 months of the Montgomery GI Bill and then opt into the post 9/11 and take another 12 months. Um, it's up to 48 months, so I think I got that wrong. But anyway, it is up to 48 months total. At that point, you're done. They will only pay for a 4-year term of accredited college. After that, the another benefit available to you, which is first come, first serve, and there's only so much funding, tuition assistance. It's a great benefit. It will pay for your college after the 4-year degree, or if you want to continue and work on a second, say, bachelor's degree, something like that, that is another way to get it funded. But it is first come, first serve. So that is offered through Go Army Ed. You go on there, you fill out the forms, there's someone who approves you, and they allot you that funding. So get in that one early. Like, as soon as you've got your stuff planned for the next semester, go ahead and put that stuff in. Before you even go to summer, put that stuff in. So that way you're not trying to compete with everybody. But I digress back to the Montgomery GI Bill. So the Montgomery GI Bill is based off of your credit hours. You're either full-time or part-time. It's only going to pay those two rates. Now, it does offer the accredited stuff, like certificate courses and stuff like that. It will pay for those. And it does cover some of on-the-job training as long as it is a certified program. And that is going to be a percentage-based kind of thing. It's based upon the program and the length that the program is going to take you. Once you get past a certain time period, it's going to start lowering the amount that you get paid every month. It's just to ensure that you're not out there being an apprentice forever. But it pays out roughly like 1,850 somewhere a month on the Montgomery GI Bill side. So what that means is, let's say you go to a college here, University of Alabama, for instance, and let's say you apply for Pell Grants or other things that you qualify for. Well, those would pay for your school up front. And then what happens is, as long as you are a good student and you are not missing out on your classes or anything like that, and you don't drop classes, then the Army will pay you monthly the remaining amount of money. What they will do is they will split it up over the qualifying semesters that you have. So let's say you came in the fall, right? You would get a portion of August. It would be prorated. It would not be the entire amount because you don't go the entire month. But they will split that up over the months that you are in college. So if you can get like the Pell Grants or just anything like the military tuition rates that are offered at your college, if you get that and your Pell Grants cover it, all that money goes straight to you. You can make an easy $1,800 a month just for going to college. That's more than a part-time job will pay you, and that is guaranteed to you by the Army. That is not like the recent National Guard program which came out where it's, oh, well, we'll cover your college 100%. Well, what you don't read in the fine print is it's only colleges in that state that you are enlisting, and it is only a certain percentage of the National Guard, because the National Guard does not have this magical unlimited funding to give to just anybody, and you have to qualify for it. And to qualify for it, you have to be a top tier of the program. You have to put in for it, and you have to be approved. Only so many people will get approved. It's very similar to the tuition assistance program that I was previously talking about, and that's something the Army has always offered. So, make your own choice there. But once you get in, you get those programs covered. The earlier the better. That's something your VA rep will tell you. He will give you the dates as soon as you can start applying for everything and help you get through that. Any questions you have on what the college allows and what you can get paid for through the military, that is your best connection. So I encourage you, once you get enrolled in a college, and let's say it's an online college, hit them up. Find that person. They are out there on that website. Most likely there is a section on that school's website specifically for the military. That is the person you need to talk to. They will tell you everything from A to Z on what they're going to need from you to get you approved and what the time frame is for it. And they will be able to make suggestions to you on what's going to speed that up the best. So that's a broad stroke of the Montgomery GI Bill. The next one is the post 9/11. It came along in 2008. That's when it was signed in. The way it works is you have to serve more than 90 days on active duty, and that just barely qualifies you. It is another percentage-based system. Again, the Montgomery GI Bill is only percentage-based as far as what you actually attend in college. That's a major difference between it and the post 9/11. The post 9/11, even if you're a full-time student, let's say you've only served 100 days on active duty, it is a thing because reservists are not continually on active duty. Anyway, so the way it's going to work is based upon how many days you've served of active duty as to how much they're willing to pay. They will give you certain percentages for the certain amount of days. Now, I'm not going to speak to that one because I'm not 100% on all that. But if you have a question and need a website, hit me up in the comments. I'll respond to you as soon as I see it, and I will get you the best answers I can. So, again, the minimum qualification is 90 days, but to qualify for the full time of active duty, you're looking at least 36 months for full benefits. Now, the Montgomery GI Bill, you can transfer to your spouse and you can transfer to your kids if you do not use it. That is a benefit guaranteed to you by the United States Army. Service through the VA, but don't get confused, the VA does not pay that. The VA manages that benefit for the United States Army. So you can transfer that to your wife or to your child after you've served your time and you have qualified for it, but you sign that benefit away to them. So once you sign it away to them, if they don't use it all, you can't take that back. That's my understanding of it, okay? If I'm wrong, please somebody share their experience in the comments and we'll go from there. But again, you know, you have to get pre-approved and you have to have the VA swear off on everything for you, so that way it's all set. Okay. Now with the post 9/11, which is again, it's at least a 90-day plus period served after September 10th of 2011, I believe, is the magic date for that one. That's why it's the post 9/11. So to transfer it to your spouse, you have to serve at least 6 years on active duty, which is, it's really hard for a reservist unless you are continually on deployment. But again, it's going to be the same standards for active duty. But active duty, obviously, once you hit your 6-year mark, and you will still have 2 years left of your contract, and you are in good standing, and you have not used all of those benefits, that you can transfer that to your spouse if you want to. Now, to transfer to a child, it's different. You have to serve at least 10 years on active duty, which is very hard for a reservist to do that, unless you are in the AGR program or, again, do a lot of back-to-back tours. At that point, you'll be able to transfer it to your child if you wish, and it's going to be the same thing as if you transferred it to your spouse. You do not get that back. You may be able to, in some cases, work out, like if you have 12 months remaining or whatever that they don't use, there may be some extenuating circumstances on that. And again, your VA rep at your school would be your best bet for that. But if you have that question, I will try and answer it. Again, you find me in the comments. Just ask me your questions. I'll do my best to answer it. So again, the Montgomery GI Bill, just quick recap. You're guaranteed that as soon as you join the Army. The Montgomery, the post 9/11, excuse me, is only given to you after the 90 days. And that's the 90 days, guarantees you the bottom percentage. Okay. So my recommendation to you, this is what I did personally. Use your Montgomery first and then go to the post 9/11, because as I previously stated, you can use up to 36 months of the Montgomery GI Bill, and then if you want to opt into the post 9/11 at that point, you sign the Montgomery GI Bill benefits away on the election form, and you then take over your post 9/11, and that one kicks in, and it will only do up to the 48 months. There's no exceptions for that. That's it. And the VA is really good about that. They account for that like down to the day. So it's not because, oh, you start in August, here's this block month, and then you just continue on. They actually account the day you start to the day you quit, the day of final exams. They count those days. They don't just round up and you're just screwed out of those benefits. So that being said, if you guys have any additional questions, tuition assistance. I spoke about it, but I didn't really cover it. I apologize that. So the way the tuition assistance is going to work, like I said, first come, first served. What it covers is just the tuition and fees. It doesn't really get too much into the book fees, though. There's going to be a lot of the fees that it will not cover. So tuition assistance may leave you holding the bag for potentially $300 to $400 worth of books. Not that big a deal considering what it will cover. That one will not pay you monthly. It will only cover your tuition and fees. So that being said, you are not supposed to double dip. By that I mean that you use your Montgomery GI Bill benefits and then try, apply for tuition assistance. If you get caught doing that, you will be fined. So that is not something you want to mess with, because the Army does not mess around with collecting their money. But tuition assistance is a really good way to pay for your continuing education. Again, I cannot stress enough, get out there first. Be the first person to submit your paperwork. Get it approved. There's somebody who's sitting there, and that's their job, is to approve your paperwork. And you may have something not checked on your paperwork. I've had that happen before. And you get your paperwork kicked back, and they say, hey, they'll see a little note that says, hey, fix this, resubmit. Get on it. Get that stuff back in. Get it right back. So that way they can get it approved, and that money is then secured to you for that semester. Used to, they were doing it for the college year, as long as you had your degree plan set up and everything was signed off on and approved, and your VA counselor had all that set up for you. But guys, that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, you can find me in the comments. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook, Twitter. I've got Instagram. Of course, I've got YouTube. If you've got any questions, comments, or just share your experiences with me, maybe we can go back and forth, and I may be able to learn from you, okay? I mean, I'm just an active duty recruiter, or excuse me, I'm a reservist on active duty who's a recruiter, and I'm learning just as much as you are, and I just want to share my information, my experiences with you guys, so that way you're better prepared joining the Army. But I know there's some veterans out there who are quite possibly more experienced than me, so please feel free to share it in the comments, and that way we are all aware of your situation and what you experienced and how we can sidestep those landmines in the educational benefits program. So guys, later on this week I'm going to try and cover TRICARE and pay benefits. Thank you for your time.